Well, guys, this might be the end of everything. I just landed. I had a hard time starting the motor taking off. Good morning. So I made it into Veracruz. Unfortunately, I didn't beat the sun. I had to drive at night, but wasn't too bad. I did find this nice hotel here, and I decided to stay there for the night. And I also found out that I can fly here in Veracruz, but there's a few limitations. But I also found out that an hour and a half north, there's a better place to fly. So the bike is all packed up. I'm gonna get on the bike and head an hour and a half north and see if I can find that better place and get up in the air.
There are times in life when you're helpless. There's no way to fix the situation and no one to help you. These are the times when your faith is tested. You need a miracle, and it always starts with prayer. This is one of those times.
Well, here I am. Although this is not the beach I'm looking for. There's another beach I'm looking for about 7 kilometers to the north, which is that way. And that is where I plan on flying, but there's very little wind and there's not a whole lot of beach. So I'm hoping I can pull this off. Landing's going to be another issue because landing, you have more distance that you need to take up landing than you do takeoff. So, but we'll figure out landing once we're in the air. Let's try to get up in the air and head 7 kilometers that way. Well, we're up and I can see what I came here for, which is right in front of me. Wait, and the camera will get it a little bit closer. By the way, this is the town of, and forgive me if I get this incorrect because it's difficult, Chacalacas. I think it's called Chacalacas or something crazy like that. But this is what I came for. These sand dunes, so much better than flying a beach around a city. Look at these sand dunes. Oh, to have a four-wheeler, or a dune buggy, something like that, or the Jeep. To take the Jeep here would be cool. No way, there's another paramotor pilot up here. No way. Maybe it's a paragliding pilot, I don't know. No, I think I see a motor. No way. No way. How cool is this? Maybe he's doing tandems or something, I don't know. I have to swing down and say hello to these guys. All right, give me a second. Let me put away the 360 and let me say hello to these guys. I honestly wasn't expecting to see other pilots here. Run, 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 run. Okay, so obviously it's a school. ¿Es escuela? ¿Escuela? ¿Más o menos? Ah, ok, ok. Mucho gusto. Chris, Estados Unidos. Hey, what's up? Chris. I filmed it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, mucho gusto. ¿Eso que mi candela aquí? ¿Sí?
Once I landed and greeted the pilots, I learned that Juan is a paragliding instructor and runs a company that provides tandem rides for tourists. Today, he is taking his tandem pilots for their first paramotor lesson. All of these pilots are very seasoned, but this is the first time they've had a paramotor on their backs.
Who's the driver? And my starter just broke. Look at that. This Vitarazi machine has been so reliable, but now the starter is broken. It's not doing anything. Well, guys, this might be the end of everything. I just landed. I had a hard time starting the motor taking off just down the beach. And now the starter is completely broke. I do not have parts for a new starter. So this may be the end of flying for season 2. Because I don't know where I'm going to get parts for this. Fortunately, the guys offered me a ride back to the hotel because, yeah, there's no way I could make that walk with the motor in the wing. So hopefully tomorrow I can fix this starter, but I got to pull the engine to do that, and that's a lot of work. So I'm not sure if I can actually get that done. Pulling the engine means I've got to disassemble the mounting brackets from the tank. It's a really hard mounting system, so I don't know. Wish me luck.
After the flights, a quick christening of the solo female pilot, which means a quick dip in the pool. I was very happy to meet this group, and it was a pleasure to hang out with them. Also, thanks for the ride back to the hotel, Juan. That walk would have sucked.
Well, I'm back at the hotel, and on the truck ride back here, Juan is going to help me if I can get this engine off to look at the starter. I kind of know these starters, and there's little plastic. It's not important. If you've taken apart one of these starters, you kind of know that usually you have to have a rebuild kit, something I don't have, something there's no way I can get, especially where I'm at. So this might be the end of flying, but I think I'm going to go ahead and try to get the engine off. Now, the engine, the way it's mounted is there's these mount points, but they actually go through the tank, and there's 4 of them. I don't even know if I have the tools to get this off, but if I do, then I'm definitely going to try to get this engine off tonight. Not a way I wanted to spend the night, but I kind of don't have a choice. At least this gives me the chance of being able to fly again. Otherwise, I won't be flying until I get back to the US and rebuild the starter or grab a different paramotor from the shop. So, really bad news today. Well, I got the motor off, and it was actually not as hard as I thought it would be. Obviously, Evo has changed a few things about their motor mounts. The good thing is I didn't have to remove the motor mounts because I don't think I have to, because I can get to the starter even with the motor mounts on there. So, all right, let me take apart the starter and see what it looks like in there. I found the problem, and let me turn the camera around and let me see if I can show you what the problem is. I think it's fixable. On second thought, it's actually worse than I thought. Let me see if I can use a pointer here. This little plastic piece is broken off. It should be extending out like this one here is. It's extended out. This piece is broken right there. That little plastic piece is broken right there. So I don't know if I have a I don't think I have a replacement. I know I have a new rope. So let me see if in the package with the rope that I'm bringing, I have one of those. I doubt it. Well, would you look at that? I have them. I cannot believe it. I didn't even know I had these. Oh, sweet. Oh man, I am so happy. Like, I bring very few parts for the paramotor, and the fact that I have these, oh, you don't know how happy I am. I can't believe I actually have those. I ordered this from Sky Sports, and I just ordered a new pulley. I actually just ordered the pulley. And now that I remember, it's like 3 years ago. And Chris or Kyle, I can't remember who it was, said, you know what, you should get this package or whatever. I've never opened this package. I thought it was just the pulley and the pull rope. Oh, Sky Sports USA, they have hooked me up. They have just saved season 2 for the rest of flying. Although season 2 is almost over, this is huge. This is huge. Oh man. I have to give it up to the guys at Sky Sports USA, and my God loves me. Well, I fixed the starter and put it back on. Now I just need to put the engine back on the frame, and I'll be ready to fly again. But before I put the engine on the frame, let me talk to you guys a little bit about why I fly this particular paramotor frame, which is a little unconventional from what the normal paramotor frames you see out there. Normally, a paramotor will have the gas tank down here, which is by your knees or your calves while you're running and flying, especially down by your calves when you're flying. Now I want you to think about weight shift and where that weight is. With all that gas below you, it's a lot harder to weight shift. With the gas up to the middle of your back, much easier to weight shift. Secondarily, the gas is between you and the engine, so that adds an extra buffer of vibration between you and the vibrating engine. It's an awesome, awesome design. Now, this is an old design. Evo Aviation actually makes a newer one. The tank cap here is actually made of metal. It's an aluminum and an aluminum threaded cap, and the way that they handle the gas is a little bit different, if I can even find the gas. The pump for the gas is actually on this side, and you can prime the gas right here directly into the tank. So that's built in, and this is aluminum, and the tank itself, they make two different tanks. They make this one, which is, I don't know, about 2.5 gallons, something like that, maybe 3. They also make a 5-gallon tank. Now, I opted for the smaller tank because there's no way I'm carrying a big tank on the motorcycle. But the second unconventional thing about this paramotor is that this frame is not aluminum and it's not titanium. It's actually thin-walled stainless steel. And you'll notice there's only 3 spars, but you cannot bend this frame. The difference in weight is less than a cup of coffee. Really, I mean, between this frame and a titanium frame, because I have a couple of titanium frames at home, and the difference in weight is less than a cup of coffee. Something you will never notice while you're running, kiting, or flying in the air. But the advantage of steel over aluminum and titanium is that you cannot bend it. Now, titanium is very strong, but keep in mind, I've been traveling through South America. If I ever bend a titanium tube, You think I'm going to be able to find someone to repair that? No, I could barely find welders to repair steel. But the amazing thing about this frame, even though it's gone halfway around the world, on the back of a motorcycle, in the rain, in every possible type of climate you could imagine, no problems with the frame. Never bent, never tweaked, nothing. But if I ever needed it to be welded, well, it's a lot easier to find a welder for steel than it is for titanium and aluminum. Let me talk to you about aluminum. People think that aircraft aluminum should be used on paramotors because it's an aircraft. But those of you who know anything about aircraft know why they use aircraft aluminum is because in a fixed wing aircraft, that aluminum needs to bend and flex. On a paramotor, the frame should never flex. And that's why steel is so much better. Now think about it. Aluminum not only flexes, but over time it starts flexing more and more and it gets weaker and weaker. You should never use aluminum on a paramotor frame. That's just my opinion, but I've owned aluminum frames. They're absolutely horrible after a year or two. So this is why I fly this frame. No other frame could have stood up to the abuse that I've put this thing through in the last 2.5 years, going through South and Central America and now through Mexico on the back of a motorcycle. You would not believe the abuse that this frame has taken, and yet it's still held up. The engine, I've had a little bit of problems with the engine, just carburetor and now starter, but Vittorazzi makes a really, really good engine, and I'm actually quite impressed with their engine, so I'm going to stick with Vittorazzi for a while. If you want one of these frames, by the way, I'm the distributor for the US, so if you ever want to try an unconventional frame, which is way better than anything else out on the market, in my opinion, let me know and I'll hook you up with one of these. Crisis averted. Got the motor back on, fired it up, much to the chagrin of the other hotel residents here, I'm sure, but fired up nice, everything's working good. Crisis is diverted. I can still fly. I need to wash my hands and it's pretty late, so I'm gonna go to sleep. Well, try number 2. We're back at the beach. Paramotor's running. I don't have a whole lot of space here, but the good thing is that there's about a 5-knot wind, give or take. So I think I have enough beach to take off. We'll find out. Either way, I'm going to get up in the air because yesterday's flight was definitely not what I was looking for.
Alright, I'm going to keep the microphone close to my lips just maybe you can hear me. I don't see the guys I was flying with yesterday, which is kind of surprising. They said they'd be out here by 8 this morning. It's already 10, but they might be up the beach quite a bit. You can see, or when I turn, you'll be able to see how far the dunes go up here. Well, it's a beautiful area though. I mean, especially if you had a four-wheeler or whatever going through these dunes. It's midday and there are thermals popping off over those dunes. So if I fly this afternoon, after the thermals calm down a little bit, I'll go over the dunes, but I just can't right now because it's too close to midday. I'm hoping you can hear the audio okay. I don't know if you can. But another huge thank you to my God for just totally saving the paramotor, and especially to the guys at Sky Sports USA. Chris is the one I talked to, and for him to recommend me get those little plastic things for the starter, I mean, that was a lifesaver right there. So here's all the sand dunes in front of me. You can kind of see what it looks like. They must have gotten rain recently because all the sand dunes look like they're kind of washed out. They definitely look like it's wet sand. Obviously the dunes have covered up this little village. Look at that house down there. It's totally covered by sand. Well, tomorrow I will leave here and head up north. I've got a long drive between where I'm at and where I need to go for the next stop. It's about 11 hours.
I couldn't help but to reflect on how fortunate I was to be able to fly again. I had no hope of being in the air, and yet, the one part I needed, I just happened to have. Thankfulness. That's how I felt today, just pure thankfulness. If there is one thing I've learned today, it's that an easy life is not good for the soul. Hardships and trials are the very things that birth joy and gratitude. I'm thankful not only for the pleasant things in life, but I'm thankful for my trials as well. It's hard living life sometimes, and I know that I have it easier than most. But I've learned that being thankful in trials is looking to the future, knowing that in the overcoming of the hardships in life, it will always bring joy to the soul. Be thankful, especially when the trials come, because without those, we would never get to experience true joy.
Actually, not the easiest landing on the planet, but I got up in the air and I got down safely. So, happy about that.